What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again, coming at you with another video for Raid Shadow Legends. As always, I want to extend my thanks on over to Polarium for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for your continued support over these past few weeks here. Now, I want to ask everybody that's been watching my videos for a little bit now, let me know what kind of content you guys want to see down the road. I want to hear your feedback in the comment section. If you happen to be new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you're tuning in and you're looking to check out this game alongside with me, all you got to do is head on over to the YouTube description down below. I got a link for you so you can download and install the game for free so you can collect yourself 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, and an executioner champion. Keep in mind the rewards that you can obtain using my link are only going to be available for 30 days. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably telling yourselves like, okay, Childish, free unit, like, do I really want to invest into it? Is it really that good? Now, legit guys, I'm here to tell you that the Executioner is actually a really strong unit despite the fact that it got nerfed a few months back here. So before we get into the main part of the video, let's take a look at them real quick, and I want to tell you guys why this unit is still really good. Now, first skill that we got going on here, this is Shield Bash level 1. We have just a single target attack that has a 15% chance to stun the enemy, okay? Now, the second skill is absolutely amazing, okay? AoE attack bar manipulation ability on the negative end that also has a 50% chance to bring a 15% speed debuff for 2 turns here. So as you guys can see, any opportunity that you have to reduce the overall turn bar meters and slow the opponent, that's just going to allow your whole team to go ahead and just get that many more turns at the end of the day, sir. You can't really go wrong with this ability. And if you take a look at it, this still goes down to a 3-turn cooldown, and you can get that chance to land a speed debuff even that much higher. You get an extra 25% chance if you get this one maxed out here. And then last but not least, we got Skilltron level 1. This one here, a 60% defense buff and a counterattack buff on the chamber for 3 turns. So this one will also go to a 5-turn cooldown. So obviously, guys, when we think about the defense buff here, I'm really liking the fact that it's going to combine well with Turmoil here, since this is also based on defense. And then in addition to that, we got the counterattack ability, making this one a really good option for your campaign. If you want to bring in a farmer, maybe you didn't get the, with regards to your starting champions, maybe you got a different one that may not shine as well as far as the farming category. This one still is a really good farmer. You're going to get a lot of value out of it because of the fact that all these units, if you don't kill them with that first wave of AoEs, they're going to be hitting you, and you're going to be having so many additional chances to attack because of that counterattack. And then if that wasn't enough, we got a universal leader skill that improves the overall defense of your party by 17%. So not only this is going to assist with the mitigation of your party, this is also going to help you improve the damage that you can do on this skill, in addition to the buff that you can get from Skilltron, guys. So without question, this unit is really good. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about something very unique to Raid Shadow Legends. For those of you guys that played a lot of gacha games, you already know the drill, right? You get up into these games, you collect those heroes, you farm the gear, and you just basically grind over and over again. And if you're lucky enough to pull specific champions, you can create yourself a very unique niche composition to take on different aspects of the game. Well, the cool thing about this game is that even if you don't get every specific champion that you're looking for, you have the aspect of masteries that allows you to customize your champions in a specific fashion, whether it's offensively, defensively, or support based, and really provides that little bit of extra oomph that you need in order to get past some of the harder stages of this game here. So what we're going to be focusing on first, we're going to take a look at the dungeon that you can collect the scrolls in order to level up your masteries. We'll take a look at the masteries on one of my units here and just kind of get a feel for, some of the stuff you should be focused on, provide you a couple of tips and whatnot that I've learned along the way, and some of the tips that have been provided from some of the amazing YouTubers and streamers out there in the Raid Shadow Legends community here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it here. So the first thing we want to showcase is that dungeon. Again, Minotaur's Labyrinth. Minotaur's Labyrinth is going to be that one-stop shop you need to go to get yourself those 3 scrolls. And as you can see right there, the mastery scrolls that you can obtain are going to be the basic, advanced, and divine. Now, this is going to be very important because once we showcase the mastery screen so that you can see all the different things that you can obtain, basically certain abilities require specific scrolls. So the cool thing about this is that even though this will take a long time to collect every single scroll you need, there's actually a hard cap of scrolls that you could obtain for each specific champion. I believe it's 100 basic scrolls, you have 600 advanced scrolls, and you got 950 divine scrolls, all of which have a specific amount that you can use to upgrade different types of abilities here. So the cool thing about that is that if you take 5 champions that you're really focused on with regards to your rest of your campaign farming, dungeon farming, your clan boss here. Focus on those 5 first here. Make sure you can get all the scrolls in there, get those champions leveled up, and then of course once you get them all capped out, you can consider bringing in somebody else to go ahead and help you out down the road if you find that specific champion very good for your lineup here. So I'm gonna go ahead and move into we'll go stage 10 here for the time being. I know that stage 11 would make sense because we cleared it, but just to kind of keep it moving along, we'll just go ahead and do one so it can be a little bit quicker here. So again, for those of you guys that might have checked it out and kind of wondering what I'm rocking with my team here, we're basically using the 5 main units that I'm using. My 2 support units have been Apothecary and Doom Priest, and then my 3 damage dealers is going to be Kale, Dark Athel, and Arrow. Arrow was the first legendary champion that I pulled, I think, in my 2nd or 3rd video. So here we are right now. This is the boss for Minotaur's Labyrinth. So we're gonna go ahead and go through his skills. The first skill is going to be a basic AoE that does more damage to the Hex with the Hex debuff. The Hex debuff is going to be based on his Swift Doom. This is where he casts his AoE and puts the Hex debuff for 5 turns. So luckily for me, as you can see, I don't have the Hex debuff on me because of the fact that I was able to cleanse it from the Doom Priest. Now the passive is what's really unique here. The Rage buff is what gets applied. You can see it right now. Stays on there for 3 turns and he does more damage on me. But once it expires, you have the Daze debuff on, so that allows me to do more damage versus him. So obviously the goal is for me to kind of hang on in there, don't die when that Hex debuff is on there, and just try to make it through so that I can get to that Daze part and kill him before he kills me. So as you guys can see, it really wasn't too big of a deal, and luckily enough, we actually got a new best time here for this. Was I guess it kind of goes to show when I spend a little bit of time working on those masteries, I see a little bit of improvement over time here. So the one thing that I want to showcase here, and I found this very confusing when I first got started, is the allocation of the scrolls here. So when you're getting your scrolls, you will notice that 1 champion out of the 5 is going to be collecting those scrolls. You'll never have 2 champions to get it. And basically, as you can see right here on Kale collected 6 advanced scrolls out of the 50. So you're probably thinking, oh, hey, he got 6 scrolls and he can get 50 total. No, that's not actually the case. How this works is that the left number indicates the amount of scrolls you collected on that run, and then the right number is the amount that you collect or you currently have in total here. So like I said before, you can have a cap of 600 on a specific champion, and of course I spent a little bit here and there, so I know that I got a long ways to go here. So again, just keep in mind that if you're looking at something that requires advanced scrolls or divine scrolls, you actually have to get all of the scrolls from their previous level, which is going to be your basic scrolls. You have to get those out and done and leveled up, right, before you can go ahead and collect these advanced scrolls. So like I said before, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to go ahead and get this out, and I'm kind of glad. You don't want some kind of secondary mechanic that takes 2 days to get it. This is going to take a lot of time, so brace yourself, guys. You're in for a treat when you get these units maxed up, because some of these skills that you're going to see down the road are going to be very important for you in the later stages of the game here. So let's go ahead and bust on over. We'll hop on over to Kale so we can kind of showcase a couple of things here. Kale, I mean, obviously for some of you guys that had a chance to get him at the very start of the game, he's literally one of my better units right now. So as you can see, when we take a look at the top right here, before we even get into the masteries, you can see that I got a max amount of basic scrolls, so now I'm able to collect the advanced scrolls here. So we're going to take a look at the 3 different trees. Of course, we have the offense, defense, and support. So before we even get into what each of them kind of break down into, I just want to put it out there. When it comes to the masteries here, this is obviously something very important, very unique to your specific changes. So before you even get into just starting to click in here and to decide what you want to do, take a little bit of time to kind of look through all the skills and abilities, see if some of these abilities really go in line with the champions that you're looking to put them on, so that you don't make any mistakes and have to be forced to bring in the reset. Now, if you take a look at the top right, you will see that you have the reset option there, and it's not going to cost anything for you, but after that it will cost you some premium currency. So like I said before, you just really want to make sure that you know exactly what you're looking to do before you get going in. So when it comes to Kale, guys, you kind of know what he already brings, right? He has the ability, he has the AoE ability, he can bring in a lot of damage, he has the poison mechanic on his 3rd skill, so he has a lot of utility in addition to damage here. So I decided to go with the offense and support at the start. For the offense side, I went for the first one, Deadly Precision, to provide the critical rate. And this is something that you're going to commonly see utilized with a lot of the attackers. When it comes down to your option between, flat attack and critical rate, the value of critical rate really, really shines when it comes to any specific unit, that you look at here. So just keep in mind that when you're taking a look at it. And so the next one that I went up in here, I took the crit damage route. Why? Because I'm looking to do more damage. As you guys know, Kale is my farmer, so any opportunity to provide more damage so I can clear those waves a little bit faster, it's going to be very, very important for me. Now, this one here, I had the options of, obviously choosing these abilities here. Grim Resolve, we got Shield Breaker, and then we have the what's it called? The Heart of Glory. So the Heart of Glory, this one here provides a little bit of additional damage when attacked with a full HP here. So the thing about this one that I wanted to take advantage of is that since he's my farmer and he's going to have a little bit of speed because of the artifacts that I can collect, I went ahead and got this one because I'm going to get the first turn more times than not, and it's going to provide me that additional damage again to be able to take out those wave of units that much faster. And in addition to that, I also utilize Kale in my arena offense. I run Apothecary, I run War Maiden, and then I run 2 different damage dealers that are AoE based here. So of course one of them being Kale. So it really pays dividends when I get that first jump of the turn to get that additional damage. Then combine that with my artifacts that I have built, focus on a high amount of attack, critical rate, critical damage. I'm able to basically, between my 2 AoE cleavers, I'm able to get the one shot and just move on to the next match here. Now, as far as the support goes, we went with the accuracy bonus here. And then we also got an additional bonus when the champion has no skills on cooldown. So again, just right in the first match, regardless of what type of dungeon or campaign or whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna really get a lot of value out of this ability because of the fact that, again, I have those poison mechanics from the first skill as well as the third skill here. So again, a lot more value, a lot more utility that I can bring. So I'm really, really liking the build thus far. Now, I stated before that the basic scrolls the cap is going to be 100 scrolls right here. So as you guys can see, these first 2, the tier 1 abilities here, these are always going to cost, okay, they're always going to cost 5 basic scrolls here. Now the next tier are going to cost you 30 apiece. So that's how I'm getting 100. I got 5 from the first 2 here on the offensive support, and then I have 2 on the offensive side for tier 2. That's going to be 60 scrolls there, and then I got the last 30 coming over here from the charge focus. So that's where I'm getting the whole 100. Now if you take a look at the next tier, this is going to be tier 3. These are going to require the advanced scrolls, and those are going to obviously take a lot more to get it here. In addition to that, tier 4 as well is going to utilize those advanced scrolls, but again, I'm going to need a little bit more. And then those last 2 tiers, tier 5 and tier 7, again, those are the specific rows that I'm talking about here. Those are going to require the divine scrolls. So keep that in mind, guys, that with regards to these different trees that you see, you just can't jump from tier 1 to tier 2 over to tier 6. You actually have to work your way down. And if you notice, if we take a look at the offensive tree right here, the types of abilities that you can obtain kind of depend upon which skills you get, in the prior tree here. So if you see right now, we're taking a look at Keen Strike. Now that I've gotten Keen Strike, I have the 3 different ones here: Life Drinker, Whirlwind of Death, and then Single Out. Okay, I have those options to do it. Now, like I said before, let's go ahead and just, take this on a practical win, right? So let's go ahead and talk about what we were saying prior to. We were saying, hey, we need to go ahead and take a look at these abilities and try to figure out which one's going to provide the most value for you. So if we do that right now, Single Out, providing the inflict the additional damage when the units are 40% less, right? We get 8% bonus. This one here, we get a little bit of a heal. He heals by 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking with 50% or less. Again, nice, but not super important here because we already have that life steal set. And then Whirlwind of Death, this is really, really cool. I like this. Increases the speed by 6 for each enemy killed by this champion, and it stacks across each round in a battle up to 18 speed. So where do I get, where do I feel like this is going to provide a lot of value? I feel like this is going to provide a lot of value in the campaign. I'm going to be able to get a little bit of speed bonus once I clear those waves. In addition to that, I'm thinking about the spiders den. Again, if you guys haven't seen that dungeon, a lot of spider ads that are going to be coming in, and because of the fact that I have those AoEs and I'm building this one to do high damage here, every single time I kill those units, I get a big boost in speed, allowing me to go ahead and cycle my abilities that much quicker. Okay, so again, for me, this one is going to provide more value. And then of course, as I start to collect more advanced scrolls, I'm going to start looking at these 3 right below the Whirlwind of Death here. These 3, they got the Wrath of the Slain, you got the Cycle of Violence, and then of course you got the Opportunities here. So once again, guys, You're gonna hear me say it over and over and over again. Really pay close attention not only to what your champion can do, but how you want to incorporate them with these specific masteries. Some of these masteries are going to be really heavily focused on PvP. Some of these are going to be able to help you out in clan boss, and some of these are just going to be for overall just benefit of your units here. Now, before I forget, one of the things that I want to put out there, because I know a lot of newer players are going to have this question, is like, when do I start farming these masteries here? This to me is it's a secondary aspect of the champion. I'm going to treat it as a secondary thing, something that you can supplement with. This is not something you got to focus on first. You're going to be focusing on the missions, the quests, the campaigns, and of course the artifact dungeon farming. Right now, when it comes to these specific dungeons, I found that it wasn't until about stage 10, stage 11 that I started seeing a lot more. I started seeing a really good ratio of scrolls to energy utilized. So for me personally, I'm never going to recommend for people to get in there early on, but I will say this: it doesn't take too long to get the amount of scrolls that you need, or you need 5 scrolls to pop off these two choices here, whether it's offense, defense, and support here. So either one you choose on either of the 3 trees, that first tier 1 only costs 5. So you can get those real quick and then take your time with it. Like I said, you got to get those dungeons done. You got to farm your artifacts, because obviously you cannot do the higher stages of these dungeons until you get a decent amount of artifacts on all of your 5 champions that you're working on. Now you're probably wondering, Travis, why in the world did you not get a little bit of hits? Why don't you just make Kale all around rounded, all around really good, right? Well, in this game you can only choose 2 types of mastery trees. So I went for the offense and support because I feel like out of these 3, those 2 are going to provide the most value for Kale. And the last thing I want to do is I want to get you guys excited. Let's go ahead and take a look at the end game types of skills and masteries that you can collect here, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to be looking forward to getting here. So we're going to look at the offense tree, and we're just going to work our way across the board here. You will notice that some of these have some kind of mechanic, and some of them have a just overall stat here. So this first one, War Master, 60% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. The bonus damage is equal to 10% of the champion's max HP or 4% of the target max HP when attacking bosses. So again, this is really nice, because this is just going to provide you more damage over time here. 60% inflicted bonus damage is actually pretty high if you consider it here. Now this next one is going to be Hell Smasher. Now this one has a 50% chance of ignoring the target's defense. For skills that ignore defense, this is 25% in addition to the amount ignored. Now I'm actually kind of excited about this one as well, maybe for Arrow, because if you guys remember, Arrow actually ignores defense here. So this might assist me in almost getting myself 100% of the ignored defense. I really would like to mess around with this one, but War Smasher or War Master looks pretty good as well. The next one that we got going on here, Giant Slayer. This one has a 30% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking. Bonus damage is equal to 7.5% of the target's champion's max HP or 3% of the target's max HP when attacking bosses here. So now take note that the bonus damage can occur on each hit of the skill, but does not count as extra hits. So when we look at Giant Slayer versus War Master, you will see that units that have those multi-hit type of abilities are going to benefit a whole lot more from the Giant Slayer versus the War Master. Now, if you're looking at a unit that basically swipes the enemy one time here, that's where this one's going to really shine, because you're going to get a little bit more value out of it. But the multi-hit ability is going to be really nice for the Giant Slayer, as I'm reading it right now here. Now, this last one, Flawless Execution, just a straight raw critical damage here. I think that this is something that you could probably get with your high 5 to 6 star artifact gear, right? But maybe that's just me. I prefer looking at the mechanics like these type of abilities here versus having the raw stats, right? So now let's take a look at this one here. Again, flat defense here, only 200 defense. I don't really foresee that as a really big thing, but this one right here decreases the damage of all allies received by 5%. This champion will receive that damage instead. So this is really unique. I like this ability here. Any opportunity to mitigate the damage that you're going to be taking in is going to be very beneficial, and especially if you're still using a lot of attack scaling champions, I think this could help out quite a bit. There's a lot of different champions, if you guys haven't gotten a chance to check it out, that actually have a really unique mechanics that allow them to mitigate the damage for their party, or have different types of debuffs that allow them to pull the aggro on towards them so that they can take that damage here. So again, this one is a really nice ability. I'm excited to take a look at some of those defense-based support units or HP-based support units that can mitigate damage and provide a little bit more support here. So Fearsome Presence, this one increases the chances of placing a stun, sleep, freeze, or provoke debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. So to me, this one kind of gets me excited when it comes to PvP if I wanted to mess around with some crowd control, but we could make an argument for PvE as well, because I think that in the largest stage of the game, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat for some of you guys that are pro players out there, I feel like some of the harder stages out there in these dungeons, when we get to those level 100, level 150, 200 level ads, or basically trash mobs that we go up against, they're going to be hitting pretty hard. So if you have an opportunity to control them by the stuns, by the sleeps, by the freezes, or even provokes, that's going to really assist you in getting through those waves so that you can get onto the boss and then control them with regards to the team that you're bringing here. So I like this one as well, but again, we'll have to see what it is. So resistance, same with that first ability that we saw here, Iron Scan. Again, flat stats. I'm not really too excited about it, but you guys tell me in the chat what you think. Now here we go. Max HP. It looks like the outside ones on each specific skill tree are the stat ones, and then the two ones in the middle are the ones that are providing you some kind of mechanic here. So this one here, Timely Intervention, increases the champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally drops below 25%, which is obviously really, really nice. Again, some of these supports out there are going to be your healers, so any opportunity to get that additional turn bar manipulation to get your heals off is going to be really good. You guys know I got the Doom Priest, so passive heals, I'll take it all day, every day, right? Oppressor, this is the other mechanic that it's going to be incorporating. Increases the turn meter fill rate by 2.5% for each active debuff casted by this champion. And you guys, if you haven't seen it already, there's some of these champions that literally have multiple debuffs here. So this really could pay, this could provide a lot of value for you depending on the type of support unit that you're going to be bringing here. But yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown of those specific ones. But I think the take-home message is this is not going to be something that you focus on first. Take your time, do what you need to do to get those artifacts, and then start taking a look at the masteries overall. Make sure that once you start taking a look at it, take a look at the tree, work your way down, see what you really want so you don't have to spend any on the reset here. And just keep in mind that the amount of scrolls are also limited. You're eventually going to get to a hard cap. So if you're really looking to max out your champions quick, focus on 5 champions first. Once you get those maxed out, then switch out one, incorporate another champion so that you can funnel those scrolls into that unit and make it that much more easier for you, okay? That's going to be it, guys. Once again, it's just a basic video for you, talking about a couple of the basic fundamentals when it comes to, focusing on those masteries here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And of course, I got to extend my thanks over to Polarium for sponsoring this video. And if you happen to be a new player and you scrolled all the way to the end of the video and you're like, hey, Childish, I did not know I could support you. What ways can I support you? All you got to do is check out the YouTube description down below. I got a link for you to download and install the game for free so you can get yourself 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, and an executioner champion. That's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish, or Childish Plays, checking out. Take care, and we will see you all in the next video for Raid Shadow Legends.